Welcome. I'm Mayor Gary Sells, and with me today is Gary Sear, Capital Project Engineer of the City of Revelstoke. Today, Gary and I are discussing one of my favorite topics, beer. Building energy efficiency of Revelstoke. Yes, I like the other beer too, but we'll save that for another day. Gary, what's the beer program all about, and how will it benefit the people of Revelstoke?
Yeah, like you said, the BEER program, BEER is an acronym for Building Energy Efficiency of Revelstoke program. So the program main objective is to address the major concern that residents have whenever they want to do renovations or energy retrofit, which is the cost and the financing of the actual work.
Yeah.
So Revelstoke has an aging housing stock, mainly in the downtown area, and a lot of residents are looking at improving the energy efficiency through retrofits of their building. And the objective of the program is to help them to navigate through all the financing options that they have.
So when we talk about them retrofitting building, are we talking about windows, doors, walls? What in particular is this kind of geared towards, or all of these things?
Well, that's the whole point about this program is we're looking at working with everyone through the process. So not just the homeowners. So we've involved builders, we've involved energy advisors.
Okay.
So ideally, the process would be residents would have an energy advisor coming to their house, and the energy advisors would assess the house and tell them what would be the best thing for them to improve, to retrofit or renovate to improve the energy efficiency of their building. Okay. So it could be through new windows, different type of insulation, more insulation. There's all sorts of renovation and retrofits that could be done. And the best person to tell the residents would be an energy advisor, because they can model the home and then figure out where the losses are and where we can gain with retrofits.
Well, that sounds like a really good thing from my perspective, having renovated old houses over the years. And it's like, oh, okay, what can we do? Well, it's a major expense if you're going to start redoing the insulation and the siding and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But you can do minor things like windows. Still a big thing, but having an energy advisor tell them what's going to be the best way is like, goes against what I did. It was like, oh, we can afford to do this, and then you go from there. So if you have an advisor, you know where to spend your money first.
Yeah, exactly.
And then go from there.
That's the whole point of involving an energy advisor from the start, because people have ideas. Oh, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that. But the energy advisor will model your home and will tell you, yeah, you can do that, but you're not gaining a lot. If you do this, you will be gaining a lot. So it kind of gives you a focus to where to spend your money if you have a limited amount of funds for your retrofits.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Good. So what phase of this beer program are we at this point, Gary?
So at this point, we're just starting the feasibility study. So we're about halfway through the feasibility study. So we're mainly collecting information. So we are collecting, we've did a survey with residents about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Now we are engaging the local builders. We've contacted the local energy advisors.
Right.
So at this point, we're mostly collecting information about the program. So we're really focusing on what's available, what are the options.
So community members have been able to go on Talk Revelstoke, complete a survey, or give information to your department to kind of get this thing up and running. Are they still able to give input, or has that been kind of come to fruition now? We're dealing with a little further up the line with the energy advisors and that sort of thing.
Yeah, we've already done the survey with the residents, and we had an amazing amount of responses, which was great. So now, like I said, we're engaged in a consultation with the local builder. So that's the phase we're at now.
Okay.
But like you said, we're on Talk Revelstoke. If anyone has comments or anything, they're welcome just to send an email and comments, and we'll review them.
Okay, perfect, good. All right. So what's next for this program, Gary? Where do we go from here?
So the feasibility study is the first phase of the program. So now we're halfway through. So we will complete that study, present this to council, and the next step is to actually design the program. So to take all the information that was gathered during the feasibility study and then design the actual program for the residents.
Okay, good. And so once that program is up and running, it's at that point that people can apply for grants and go forward. Is that correct?
Exactly. Once the program is up and running, the information is going to be available to residents as to grants available, types of financing available,
Right.
who are the resources around here to call and to contact. So all that information could be like a pamphlet, it could be on a website. We don't know which format it's going to be,
Sure.
but that's going to be part of the design program.
Well, that's great. I really appreciate that. It's good to know that information and that there's something out there for residents to look forward to so that they can get some help and some financial design to actually make sure that when they do their retrofit that they're getting the best options they can get. So,
Well, that's one thing. There's so many grants and options available. Sometimes you don't know where to look, where to start. So that one of the goals of the program is to narrow down, hey, what do you want to do? Here are your options to help narrow down what's available.
and just, for me, having renovated houses over the years, I look at it and go, okay, I want to put this sort of appliance in, or I want to put this sort of window in, or how am I going to look at that? And if there's grants available for specific ways of doing it, it's always wonderful to see. When you have to pay for it out of your own pocket, if you can get a grant to help with that, that's really going to be a benefit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, no, I appreciate that fact and that the program's there. So Gary, thanks for joining me. I appreciate that. As we all know, we're reducing our energy consumption, improving our energy efficiency are two of the most important tools that we can use to fight climate change. So Gary, thanks for spearheading this important project. Thanks as well to our audience for listening in. Be sure to take a few minutes to watch our other videos on the City Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram accounts. Thank you again. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it.